Good evening. We are Coping Life Talk, and I'm Dr. Lydia Istomina. Tonight we are hosting Leah Zorzo from Greece. Hi, Leah.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
Good to meet you in person, and we are anticipating a wonderful, wonderful story. And this is a personal story, and this is, I think, the best thing that can speak to people who are trying to cope with different life situations. And as always, we have our co-host, Scott Kiddle. Thank you, Scott, for being with us today. So, Leah, we always start with introducing our guest, and the way we do that, we simply ask our guest to introduce herself or himself, because it's coming firsthand and you know yourself better than anybody. So tell us about yourself.
Yes, thank you so much for having me tonight with you. It's a pleasure and honor. It has been an incredible day for me. I am currently in Greece where I had a live talk today. I spoke to 30,000 people in Greek, from Greeks from all around the world. And it was the first presentation that I did of my work to the Greek audience, which has been a true honor. So it is a big day already for me, and it is an honor to come here to talk to you and to tell you that life helped me to live my dream. And now I'm helping others live theirs. This is what I do. I help business owners, established people who have, big careers. They have been working for years, and they know that they are here on this earth for more. I'm helping them dream, find their version of healthy success, accept themselves and love themselves unconditionally, and follow their dreams. And I'm doing this by getting rid of all beliefs, musts, and do's that we have grown up with. And my personal story was what really inspired me and helped me find my true self as well. So now I'm giving away what I found and I discovered.
Yeah, your story and the title that you came up, thank you. That's a perfect introduction. And yes, you do speak to thousands of people, because your story, first of all, besides that it is so touching, unusual, it's very unusual. And as a result, you came up with these ideas how to master families and how to be successful in business in everything we do. Because what is that initiated your growth from that point? So something happened in your family, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was 8 years ago. I was running my technological startup. I had, I had joined one of the biggest startup accelerators in the world. I wasn't coming from, the entrepreneurial world, but I was always fascinated by it. So I had my son, 3 years old at the time, and I wanted to, to get into the business world. And I joined a startup accelerator, found the Founder Institute, the biggest and famous accelerator that there was at the time, that helps you get from an idea to a sustainable business. I didn't have any experience regarding business. I mean, I was running multi-million-dollar projects, but I was a manager. Okay, I didn't have my business at that time. So after that, I was so passionate about it. I gave up my full-time job 3 weeks into the program. The program was 14 weeks, and I started living my dream. And after a year, I had a team of 6, no money, we didn't have any money. And I had a team, I had a product, and I had run the pilot, and I was talking to investors. So everything was very, very hot, and everyone was so excited. Excuse me. And at that time, my sister, who was 22 months younger than me, recently divorced with 2 young kids. She was diagnosed with a very rare disease. My immediate reaction to my sister's illness and diagnosis was to give up my family, my son, my business, my team, and be with her. So for the next 3 months, I was with her every single day. I was going to the doctors with her because we were trying to find the best team. It was a very rare disease. People, we couldn't find many people who knew about it. So in the morning, during the day, I would go to the doctors with her, and some days I would take her test results and I would go on my own. And at night, I would do research because I come from the academia, I have a master's and a PhD. I know how to research articles. And I was doing research all around the world to find institutes and clinics that could support her. After 3 months, my sister had a team of doctors and a plan. And I was left feeling alone, depressed at home, lying in bed, not being able to take care of my son. The relationship with my husband was at least shaky, and I wasn't happy. And it was the first time in my life, at 40 years of age, that I said, I don't like this life. I don't like it. I need help. I cannot do it anymore. I cannot do it. I need help. And this is one of the most important characteristics of this story, that I had to get to 40s, to be 40 years of age in order to ask for help outside of friends and family for the first time. Because until then, I thought I should do everything on my own. I had won scholarships, I had won awards, I was the perfect child. And it was the first time in my life that I said, you know what, I need help. And this is where everything started.
It's very interesting because it is so natural for people to jump. Maybe not everybody, because some people are doers like you are, and you are a rescuer. And it seems like you grew up in a family known as the one who takes initiative, runs and helps and does anything for other people. And it's a type of a personality. But also you found in this personal interaction with your sister that you are the one who emptied herself. You are the one who started feeling, I'm not able to do anything. So, and then you came up with these 5 tips that are very important. So you suggest to start with yourself. But then people will say, well, that's so selfish because, we want your help. And it's interesting that one person runs and starts helping, and then others, in a way, not hide behind, but kind of, wait because someone took the initiative and took responsibility. So then if you suggest to start always with ourselves, so could you lay it out? Why, first of all, does it not mean that we are selfish?
No, but I want to say something else. When I I said I need help, I went and I asked for help. And through working on my own, on me, I found out that the day we are conceived, not born, conceived, our parents give us roles. So I had the role of the achiever, the perfect child, the one who always ran to help others. And my sister had the role of the defenseless child who would always need help. This is not true, though. These are the roles that others give us. We are born exactly the same, okay? So that was a huge realization for me, and a huge insight to know that I was acting out of my role and I didn't have a choice. When you are young in a family, in order to survive, you need to follow up with this role, to take it. You don't have a choice. So you learn this is your reality, and whatever you believe is true for you. So my reality was, my sister is ill, I'm running. I'm not waiting to be asked. And there is a huge discussion around help, and I would like to get into that as well later. But I ran without being asked. This means that I had learned to put others top on the priority list and not me. And this is exactly how my mother used to live and is living actually until now. So what I had seen is that was that others are more important. When something happens in their lives, without being asked, you have to run. So this
Okay.
was the model that I had. Yes, Scott.
So without even being asked. Okay, Scott.
Yes.
So, Leah, you mentioned that when at conception you're given a role. Did your parents articulate that in words to you that
No.
this is the expectation?
No.
Interesting. So you perceived that, or you took it upon yourself?
You don't perceive it. This is your characteristic that is given. If you're expected, to always be first, if you're expected to do things on your own, and if everyone runs to help your sister because she cannot, others say that she cannot. My sister was far capable to do everything. But that was how the family was reacting to us. So in order to survive in that system, you need to play the role. This is your truth. You don't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. And when I started working with myself, I joined a group of women, a systemic approach, a group of women who share similar challenges. And through role playing, you can see how you behave. And I remember one lady, when I said that, my sister got ill, and of course, I, left my business, my team, my work, my passion, and my family to go and help her. And she was like, what do you mean? I would have never done that. And that was the first time that I realized that my reaction wasn't a universal reaction. My reaction was my reaction because of my beliefs and because of my experiences and because of my roles. Everyone else in that room would do something different. And that was huge for me. It was like, all the lights came on in the room. I was like, oh my God, okay, let's find out now, what else I could do.
Yeah.
And until then, you didn't know any better, and what the work that I did with myself helped me because I realized that I could never save my sister. And you can never save someone else. You can only help yourself. That became clear. And it is your responsibility because, no one actually has to come and help you and save you. No one can and no one should.
And it's so hard for interruption, so hard for people to accept the truth that, first of all, that we need to wait for invitation. Seems like we need to wait for the invitation to help. But we jump and we start helping because of that role. What I hear also, first of all, that you're an older sister. That also in the society, many societies, the older child has more responsibilities than the younger. And they actually are raised more responsible and kind of more family oriented. But also, did you say that your mother was like that?
My mother is still like that, and because she hasn't done the work that I have done.
So it's like a learned experience also. But so then what you say, that it's our responsibility to help ourselves, right? Nobody's responsibility is to jump and leave everything. That's kind of a hard lesson you learned, right? By almost losing everything, your business and even energy and ability to help. That's actually who you are, right? Okay, so
Yes.
Continue, please. This is very,
Yes.
very interesting.
And I would like to discuss exactly what you said about help.
Okay.
When we run to help someone else, we take the pride. I know better. So I'm running to help you because I can show you what the best thing is. It's not because we need to help. It is because we have learned and we take pride from it. And when you run to help someone without being asked, they have feelings of resentment and anger because when someone has a problem, they don't need you to do anything. Until they ask you, they don't need you to do anything. They need to share their truth. So the best help you can be is to stand next to them and to be there. And because of the work that it did, I'm really emotional to say that I managed to be there for my sister, not as a savior, as a sister, being there with her in the last 2 years of her life. So she would come and visit us in the house, and I knew that she, alcohol was forbidden, sweets were forbidden, and she would ask to pour her a drink, and I would do that because my sister at that point, she didn't want a doctor, she didn't want a know-all person. I know everything. She just wanted to be heard, to stay with her sister without actually having to talk about the illness. So when we, on the other hand, if we wait to be asked, we give the other person the responsibility and the pride to ask for help, to take responsibility for their lives and to say, you know what, I need help. And when they ask for help, they can ask for something specific. Because when we run to help, we may offer something that we believe they need, but this is not what they need. We believe that we know, but we don't know anything. So when they ask us for something, they can ask for something specific. And then there is a huge power that if you wait to be asked, you can say yes or no. And this is what I learned. No is a full sentence. You don't need to justify it. So then you can ask yourself, can I do this? Can I offer this help? Put yourself first, always, because if you don't take care of your needs and wants, no one will. And if you can offer the help, do it. If you cannot, say a firm no, I cannot. And this is enough. It is a huge mistake when we believe that we don't love someone if we are not there for them to say always yes when they ask us to do something. It has nothing to do with love and respect. I love my husband, I love my son, but if I don't want or I cannot do something, I will say no.
So it seems to me that when you mentioned resentfulness of people who need to ask, right? I've learned from my mistakes, and it puzzled me since my childhood. When, like teenage girl, I try to help, and then you help a person, and then you can't help anymore. And so, and then you get a worse enemy, because these people get angry at you, and then you try to put it together. Why? How did I deserve it? So what you say explains it, right? So well, that first of all, nobody asked me to help. I jumped and I sacrificed, and then I kind of measured the price that I paid to help, and then suddenly this person is the one who is upset with me, right? So that's what you say. Okay, so, but what I hear, at one point, even if you are asked to help, it is okay to say no. Right? So
No.
how?
You put yourself first. You put your needs first and your wants. One of my clients called me yesterday to share a big win. She was always there for her mom and her family. And when she started working with me, she started saying no. So her mom called her the other day, and she asked her to take her to the clinic to do a surgery that's had very early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. So, my client before would have said yes. She would have changed her whole program. She would wake up very early in the morning and do this because her mom asked her. But this time, she said, let me think about it. And then she called her mom and said, you know what? I cannot take you in the morning. I can pick you up when you finish. And her mom said, so you have something that you cannot change? And she said, no, I can change it. I don't want to change it. And it was so powerful. She was so ecstatic to call me and say, it is the first time in my life at 47 years of age that I say to my mom, you know what? I'm not running to save you because I put myself first. I want to sleep.
Very
because
good.
I have a full day, I have a family that I need to take care, and this is for me priority.
It is. So
You
you are the
cannot-
priority, yeah.
Yeah, and you cannot actually. There is this assumption that we should always give and give and give. You cannot give if you are not full. So you need to fill yourself to be happy, to have everything you want, and then you can give because you have an overflow to give. Because as Lydia said, when you give without having, you will be upset, you will get exhausted, you will get ill as well, and you will never be happy, and you will never satisfy other people's expectations because other people may change their expectations every single day. If we try to fulfill other people's expectations, we will be running all our lives and they will never be happy because we cannot make someone else happy. We don't have such power.
No, we
And
don't.
I grew up to believe, because this is quite emotional for me. I grew up to believe that, my parents would say, "Oh, I'm upset now. You did this and I'm sad, or I'm angry, or, this is wrong and you shouldn't have done that because now I'm unhappy." And I grew up believing that other people's happiness was on me. So this is a huge burden to have. And when I realized that I can never make someone else happy other than me, it was like a huge burden was taken off from my shoulders.
It seems like you're very intuitive, and also you went through a very hard time when it gave you a gift to know yourself better. And again, like you started with understanding your role, but also what I hear now, that we can never make other people happy because we don't know what makes them happy. But it takes me to the question that you have among your 5 tips. Like, first of all, know yourself. Because when I never thought of that. It's a discovery for me when I've read your points that know yourself well, because I never thought that people might not ask you for help because they don't know themselves well. They don't even know how they need to be helped and in what way. And so when we jump and start helping, it's not matching what they want because they don't even know what they want yet, right? So not giving them the time to know themselves, and and jumping into helping exhausts us, but we are not doing any help. We are not helping, right? That's what you say.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're not helping because when
Interesting.
people, yeah. I don't know if you want to follow with a question on that.
Right. So what you've done instead now, of course, after all this, I would say mistakes and very difficult mistakes that took so much from you, but you discovered that way that you start first of all with yourself, and then you also know yourself well.
It is more about connecting to your feelings, because
Okay.
when I started working with myself, my mentor would ask me, "Leah, how do you feel about that?" And I would say, "I'm fine. This is not a feeling. Fine is not a feeling."
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare to express my feelings because when I was growing up, and I'm talking a lot about when I was young, and the point here is not to say that my parents were awful people. They did their best, but the environment that you are raised affects you, and makes you the person who you are later in life. So my dad would say, "Don't be sad, don't cry." So I was living a life that I was trying to avoid sadness and being happy, and always try to be happy. But I was not never, but I wasn't that happy. It was a game of chasing or avoiding to be hurt. But this is you cannot live like this. So when I started working with myself, I started connecting to my feelings. So I could get upset, I could get angry, and it was fine. It was okay, and it is needed, because the emotion is what drives the behavior. the behavior drives your result, but actually it is the thought that creates the emotion, and the emotion creates the behavior. So everything I do now, and you mentioned, Lida, that I am quite intuitive, and I take inspired action a lot, and I talk about inspired action a lot. I connect with my feelings. I connect to my body. So if I feel that this is the right thing to do for me, I will do it. I will not even, think about what can go wrong. No, and I have stopped listening to my mind, because our minds are the greatest storytellers of all time. They tell us stories. It's not truth. But the body and the feeling is our truth.
That is very good. And I'm glad that you said get connected to your feelings, because this is where I think we start learning who we truly are. But you also mentioned your father, who told you, don't cry, don't. And that is such a huge responsibility that parents have, to know that. Because we need to know that we shape children, future adults, who might struggle exactly like what we struggle with, right? And so we forget that we are humans. We forget we have feelings. We forget that we need to start with ourselves. Somehow, I don't know where it is in our genes to jump and start helping others when we are not even helped ourselves, right? Okay, so
we don't know what we don't know, though.
yeah.
So until life hits you hard, and you
Okay.
decide to make a decision, a conscious decision. I mean, when I described how I reacted back then, I remember that afternoon. I remember the conscious decision that I made. I need help. I was at a dead end, and I didn't like my life. And I had outer success, okay? A master's, a PhD, more than 20 years of experience, my own business. I had a family, I had a son, I had the perfect life. And actually, 10 years before, I had traveled around the world. So in my family, I was regarded the black sheep, the one who would always run to satisfy her needs. What I realized was that I was living my life fulfilling my role. And that made me so angry. And at 42, I don't remember exactly my age back then, 43, I remember walking on the street thinking, what do you want to do? What do you like? It was like a reset button was hit. And I was like, you know what? Now it's the moment that you can change your life. My first thought was, I'm going to change my life now. I'm doing it. I loved the freedom and the power that I had. And the next thought I had was, I'm helping other people after this, because I could see all my friends and family trying to fulfill other people's expectations. And I said, I'm doing this for me, and then I'm helping others. But as you said, we need to take full responsibility and to say that, until now I have done my best, now I need help.
So Leah, when you made a decision, came to the realization that you were living your life for other people's expectations, and now you were going to plot your own course, did you get a little bit of pushback? Did people say, what's wrong with you?
I have a lot to say about this. Great question. What happened? I don't know. It was like an earthquake. I had people say, who are you? Who are you now? What is wrong with you? Because it is like a bowl of fruits, okay? A bowl full of fruits. If you take an apple from there, all the rest of fruits need to change position to reconnect. This is what happens. I was changing my behavior, so all the people around me needed to change their behavior to connect with me. And people don't like this. People like what they know. So, yes, from friends, from family, my mom, I remember my mom saying, how have you become? Do you know how have you become? And I said, do you understand that I ran to save my sister and I left myself? And she replied back then, if this was happening now again, you should do it again. Okay? So it was what was expected and how she had grew up. Okay? Which was fine, but thank God I had the choice, and I made the choice that I knew that wouldn't satisfy anyone, but I could live with myself. And I remember I hadn't slept for 3.5 years. I was waking up at night 3 o'clock, and I, had all these thoughts and worries in my head, and I wouldn't be able to fall back to bed. And when I started, after 2 years working with myself, I started to sleep at night because I was saying to myself, you know what? You are doing your best. Okay? It's okay if you don't cook today. It's okay if you need to have a power nap in the middle of the day because you need it, even though your husband is, in his office and he works while you are in bed. Because we carry so many roles that we try to fulfill. And I had started to say, wait a minute now, I need to be with me. I need to connect with me and to see, to ask myself, what do I want? What do I need? First me and then others. And it was, my son was 5 years old at that time, 5, 6 years old. And I would ask him, how much does mommy love you? And he would reply, a lot. Yes, I was saying, but who does your mommy loves more? And he would say herself.
Oh,
because I wanted to make it, so clear to him to say that you need to take care of you first, to fulfill your needs, to ask about yourself. And Linda said before how hard it is, the responsibility that we have to show the truth to our kids and not to tell them that life is always good and it would be, easy for them. While in COVID, and I remember this situation, this example, when you were talking before, Lydia, I was in my office as I am, and we have a couch here. So he was doing his classes from home, we were in the house all the time, it was mad. And just before the lockdown, he had arranged with one of his friends to come over. And of course, this never happened. He was so upset because he's an only child. So he was looking forward to that friend. And he was so upset. He had his class and they had a 5-minute break. And he came to my room and started crying. And I didn't react. I didn't say anything. Okay? And it was so hard for me not to react and to let him cry. And then 5 minutes later, he would say, it's time to go now, because he's very punctual and he's very, he's a good student. So he would run back to his class. And it was so hard for me not to hug him and not to say everything is going to be all right, because he had to go through that. I had to leave him be sad.
And that's the hardest thing. And what you talk today about, I want to go back to the roles, because unfortunately it's a huge topic of gender roles. And like example of your mother, especially older generation, women were not even allowed to have anything outside of the house. And even if they had jobs, they had to do everything around the house and raising children and cooking and cleaning. And so now it started changing. Not every family understands that yet. And so it is even in the modern society that women play multiple roles. And if they try to step out, like, you ask your son, who do you think I love more? And he says, yourself. Wow. Some parents probably will tell to their older daughters, like, are you crazy? Yes. You need to love your son more. But you see, this is where the generational conflict steps in. So, but I think you're such a brave woman. Your group on Facebook is called Intelligent Leaders, which is exactly what you are displaying. It's emotional intelligence. Do not jump and start helping until you know what people want. Also, like you just said, giving your student a hard time, somebody will say, "Oh, how insane, kind of, cruel almost." But you're right. Everybody needs to experience the pain and of especially making mistakes. So, but through getting connected to our feelings, we start understanding that we need to give help only when we are asked for it, right? So what else? What else do we need to learn?
We need to be happy to take care of ourselves a lot.
Wow. Be happy. Okay.
Be
Say more.
happy. Yeah.
Be happy.
What I usually say, it's something that I share with my clients a lot. You are worth sitting on your sofa, drinking a cup of tea. You are not worthy as a human being if you have a clean house, if you have done all your chores, if you are a perfect daughter, a perfect sister, a perfect wife. You should be worthy and happy being with you, going out, having a walk. I advise all my clients, and it's something that I do every single day. I spend 2 to 3 hours every day outside, walking, connecting to nature, just being me, not thinking. No, I'm trying to connect with now, and with me, and with my body and my needs. And I ask myself, is there something I can do for you today? How are you feeling today? What do you need? So, we need to start spending time with ourselves every single day. This is as important as breathing, to be alone with us. And it's something that my son has learned from a very early age, because he is an only son. He's content with himself. I love that he can spend 2 hours being with himself, reading his books, listening to his music, and he's happy. He doesn't have to do things to feel worthy. And this is a very good example of showing to the next generation, and showing to the older generation as well, the past generation, that we are taking care of ourselves. They couldn't, but this is the first step. So this is what I say to my clients: be happy, be connected to you, to your body, to your needs, and be grateful of everything that you have in your life. I'm grateful every day for the internet that gives us this opportunity right now to speak. I was speaking to thousands of people in the morning. I am helping my clients all over the world because of the internet. I live in a country at the moment that it's sunny. It's gorgeous to be by the sea and walk every day. And we need to be grateful every single day. This is what I would like to say now. Be happy and be you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, be happy, be grateful. Okay, Scott, you had a question.
You reminded me of a conversation that we had on an earlier podcast about embracing being alone versus loneliness. So you can be alone and embrace that solitude and be mindful, be present in it, but yet not be lonely.
Yes. And you can be in a room full of people and feel lonely.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a great sense, especially people who live in big cities. And I was from a big city, so you can just so easily be lost in the crowd and be very lonely. It's like you're not alone physically, but you're very lonely. Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I try to connect with people all the time, and I was a very shy girl. When I was in my 20s, I was very, very shy. I wouldn't speak. I wouldn't connect. I would never give a live talk as I did today to thousands of people. So this was a huge step for me, because this was one of my dreams. And I have started, when I started connecting to me and starting having a healthy relationship with me, accepting myself, I started connecting to others. This is what I realized. And I realized that before I was feeling so lonely, Scott. Before that, I was trying to fulfill all these roles and have this image, to show that image that everyone else needed. I was alone. But I realized that now, after years, when I started connecting to me and I started building really honest relationships, because now I know I cannot control other people's feelings. I cannot make them do something that they don't want. If they're upset not because of something I said, but because of their journeys and their experiences and their life. Okay, so this has taken a huge burden out of my shoulders, and now I can be me. So now, if someone says something that, for example, you don't understand, okay, I'm not spending energy. I'm not fighting. Yeah, okay, if you know who you are, you don't need someone else to believe it. Okay, so you pick your battles, you save energy, you take care of yourself, and you keep going, fulfilling your dreams. So you focus on you, and you do your best every day to be happy so you can help others.
So when you connect with people, you're connecting out of your abundance, the abundance in your soul, as opposed to, I need you to fill my heart.
Yeah.
Right?
And unfortunately, so many people will be right there when you start scattering your energy and your desire to help. It will be an endless line of people, but in the end, they will be all angry and resentful because they will not be satisfied. But so, great advice. So, practice self-awareness, practice self-knowledge, right? Spend time with yourself, take a walk. And I like how you said, it's like, yeah, and I'm perfectly comfortable. Yeah, I'm not cooking tonight. That's okay. And such freedom. It's a freedom, and also gives you so much time.
Yeah, time is the most important asset we have on this planet. Time. And as Greeks, we drink a lot of coffee for hours. So for the last 10 years, I don't drink coffee anymore. So when people say, come on, let's have a coffee. No, I don't have time for coffee now. I prefer to be on my own and to take some time, me time, to read my book, and to be able to go to bed early and wake up at 6 o'clock because I have work to do with myself. And this is something that I want to share. I do work, and my clients do work on themselves every single day. So we do things, we have specific activities that we do to believe, new paradigms. Okay, so I want to help. I give you an example. I want to help 1 million people by May 2025. This will be 5 years since I started running my leadership program and emotional intelligence program. So I want to be able to help 1 million people. So every day I'm taking steps and I'm working on the image that I need to have to be able to help. So one step was to be able to speak live to thousands of people, what I did today. So in order to help millions, I need to grow my business. I need to grow my income. And money, I don't know if you are interested to discuss about money, because money paradigms and selling paradigms are huge as well. So we cannot, I couldn't dream of myself earning a lot of money because I had beliefs that were like, money always go to bad people, or you should work very hard to have money. Selling people are awful. They are manipulators, so I wouldn't be able to sell. So, yeah. I mean, I had all these beliefs. Yeah. And now my program is sold £50,000. Okay, it is an annual program, very intensive program. It is one of the most expensive programs, and the price will be risen. Why? Because people make their dreams a reality. They get rid of everything. They are reborn. They can earn, they can multiply their business revenue by 10 times in a month just by changing the relationship that they have and the beliefs they have with money. So it is, the paradigms and the experiences that we have affect every single part of our lives. And before, I didn't know that. And there was a woman who helped me because she saw the passion that I had, that I want to help. And I told her, I don't sell. I cannot sell. And I was worried. I said, and she told me, Leah, you need to be able to grow your business to help so many people. So you need to make money. So work on your relationship around money and emotion. So I have been training on money and selling beliefs for the last 3 years with the top in the field. And I saw that money affects even how we interact sexually with each other. The relationship in a family is affected by money. Friendships are affected by money. So many things. We have put so much burden on money. And let me share, because I started discussing money today. Let me share that money is neutral. It's just energy. You can be an ethical person, as I am. You can do a lot of good and earn a lot of money. And it is okay.
I'm glad you said that, because people might think that, you start knowing yourself, you become more self-centered, and then of course you're more successful in business and you make more money. So then people might get a wrong impression that the whole idea is to make more money. But what you said so well, change your relationship with money, because money, you're right, since we are on a coping topic, coping with life changes, money is a huge factor, and families have more scandals and arguments over money. It's between parents and children, it's in business. And so when you say that you help people to become more successful and make more money, it's not that money make people happy, but simply their relationship improved. And what you said is very important. You can make more good, do more good with money. You can help more people, right? But again, not like jumping and scattering money, right? So how would you do wisely helping people?
Okay, first of all, money is the byproduct. No one has made a lot of money chasing money. Okay? I'm helping people. I want to help people follow their dreams and change their lives. And I'm so passionate about it. And this is what I concentrate on. Of course, I will sell my program. And because for me, helping is selling. Selling is helping. Because if you don't buy my program, I cannot help you. Everything I use is online on my social media. How come I cannot help the thousands? Because if you buy something, if you put yourself as a priority, you invest. So you take responsibility to be focused and to work on yourself. It is a huge pride of, to actually say, I'm not buying a new car. I'm not going to, to the great holiday destination as a family, because I want to invest in me. This has an incredible power. Sorry, yes, Lydia.
Wonderful, because you invest in you. Investing in yourself means that you are focused not on something that makes you happy temporarily today, to kind of fill the hole that everybody has, big or small or many, in our souls, but instead you're planning for the future. You invest in yourself. And so that is a huge jump from being a needy person and becoming a self-responsible person and planning ahead, that later in life you do not become that needy person, and your children, your grandchildren, society has to help you. So, and that's the most responsible decision. And also I think it brings stability in your personal life, right? So could you spend more time on investing into yourself?
Yeah, I have been investing myself every single day for the last 10 years. 80% of the business revenue I make is put on me, back on me, investing in myself, my personal development, and to my business. And this is what I advise my clients, because many of them had beliefs that, you need to save money, that there is a scarcity of money and you need to save because what if something bad happens? Power comes from knowing that you can earn money when you need it. Power and wealthiness doesn't come when you have millions in the bank. And the only way to be able to earn a lot of money when you need it is by having true relationships. And the only way to have true relationships with others and build really amazing, honest relationships is to have an honest relationship with you. So everything starts from us. And this is why I say to my clients, to my audience, take care of you, invest in you, follow your gut, make a decision right now to change your life. Make one step, take one step, okay? This is fundamental for your growth.
Thank you, because I think that's what people in our audience need to hear. First of all, you gave such clear steps. Know yourself, be happy, be grateful, connect to your feelings. Don't drink too much coffee with friends, but don't be don't be afraid to be with yourself. Read more, but also consider the time as a greatest gift and change your relationship with money, because it's just such a complex topic. We probably should invite you again just to talk about that.
Very happy.
Yeah, and we will be very happy.
Around money and
so absolutely. So we just saw it's just so much to learn today, and what a difficult lesson that you personally learned in your life. How much struggle you went through, but because of that, you became who you are. You've learned to treasure your time. You've learned to know yourself, and also sort of to say no, I'm not going to do that. So what else would you say in summary in the end of our podcast? What a pleasure to have you, Leah. So what will you say in summary to our audience? What do we need? First of all, you said do it today, so small steps.
Do it today, but I will say something else. Forget your background. Forget COVID. Forget the money that you earn. Forget what you have been doing all your life. Forget what everyone else says. And dream. Dare to dream the life you want. When you dream it, you will get it. You will receive it. You need to dream. And this is one of the hardest things I help my clients when we start working together. First of all, I help them dream their lives, dare, because initially, thoughts come and we block them straight away. We don't actually dare to say them, and I give them the space, and I listen to them. I give them space to dream, and I help them dare to dream. This is how my clients have given up jobs and they have become writers. They have published books in 50 days. I have another client who actually, in his 55 years of age now, he wanted to go back DJing, playing music for the younger generation, and he had grown up in a family where everyone said at one point, that's great, but you need to have a good job. So now he's DJing again and he's earning a lot of money.
Wow.
So people, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. If your heart can dream it, you can make it happen. I'm here to help everyone make their dreams a reality. This is my job for you. You show me what you want, and I help you make it happen. But first, you need not to discuss it with anybody, because other people will give you all the beliefs and restrictions that they have. So don't discuss it with anybody else. Connect with you and dream. Go out, go for a walk, and dare to dream. You can make it happen.
So what you say? Oh, go ahead, Scott.
Well, Leah, I was just going to ask if someone wanted to reach out to you to learn more on this subject, maybe become a client. How would they go about doing it?
I can share a link with you to share as well. I share all my work on social media, Facebook and LinkedIn. And I have a Facebook group, as Lydia said, Intelligent Leaders, Entrepreneurs Who Build Thriving Businesses. Join the group, and my program is shared, in a regular basis.
Yeah, and then put it on a screen. Here it is. Master your business, and then also you have a Facebook.
This is the lead magnet that you are sharing.
Okay.
I can send you the link.
Yeah, send me the link. And also, I have your LinkedIn group and Face group, Intelligent Leaders.
Group. Yes.
And so, and this is a private group, so there are some questions there that I could see. So to join. So, and it's not hard, right? So,
No.
I hope.
And
so
we
here
are,
it is.
we are a great family of entrepreneurs from all around the world who want to lead with increased self-awareness. This is it. We're trying to do our best every day, and we support each other. It's a small group with a great atmosphere.
Wonderful. So, and it's so wonderful to be here. It is. I have your link here. Leadership program. Okay, I'm putting it on the screen. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you for sending this. And also, I invite our audience to connect with you, because what you displayed today, you displayed this energy, dare to dream. And I think so many people just simply suffer from this lack of. So this one, right?
Yes. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. So we are suffering all trying to find who we are, where to start. But I think that is just such a bold statement, dare to dream. And then also your stories about your clients who become much happier, write books, start playing music, and finally connect with the dream of their childhood, doing what they wanted to do. I think this is where we become more productive. And but in overall, people around them become happier because they see their loved one happy, not depressed. So thank you so much, Leah. Go ahead.
You're welcome. May I say something else? I just remembered.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm running a very successful program for the last 2 years. I don't have a website. Until recently, I didn't even have professional photographs taken. I didn't have a brand. I didn't have a budget. I was doing lives and I was connecting with people on social media. This is how, and I was sharing what I have learned and the benefits that I got. So you don't need a lot to start. You just need yourself. Be yourself, get out there and tell to others how you can help them.
Thank you, because this is many people just simply are afraid to start because when you said lose everything, forget who you are, dare to dream. So I think this is what our roots are so deep and rich in who we are, that we forget that we have the energy to start and do small steps, but then start dreaming big. Interesting that you said do not share your dream, and I want to invite you back with that thought, because yes, I'm serious. That is a huge topic. So Leah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. And also, I will promise our audience that we will bring you back, because there are so many questions to you. And again, the same thing that you said, you did not have a website. All you had, no money and no advertisement, nothing. And you built yourself. So thank you. That's a huge encouragement. So have a wonderful day, and we will have you back. Thank you.
A true honor. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.